Hi there, welcome to Nonsense Whisky. My name is Vin PF, and if this is your first time here, please do consider subscribing to the channel and of course liking this video if you enjoy the content, because it really does help promote the channel and help me grow. But onwards today, and today we have something a little bit special, and that's all the way from America, Chicago in fact, and that's the FEW or FEW Bourbon. And next to it is something else, which is something really nice, really special, is the single barrel British Bourbon Society pick of the same, FEW Bourbon. Now, so these samples did come from the British Bourbon Society on Facebook. Please do check them out, they're absolutely a fantastic group. The first one, the FEW itself, the FEW Bourbon, came from a kind of blind drop tasting that they did. I don't know who sent them to me, I've got a group of them. It was a really good drop. And the second one was kindly sent to me by one of the members, Paul Merryman. So thank you very much for that. I owe you a sample back and you'll be getting that very soon. So let's move on to the first one itself and see what we got. Now, I covered a fair few bourbons on the channel when I did my little mini series. So it'd be interesting to try out what craft distilleries are doing. By that I mean small batch, kind of very few barrels going into it, picking the best of the best, you know, and not watering it down much. So this comes out at 46.9% at an interesting mash bill of 70% corn, 20% northern rye, and 10% barley, 10% malted barley, which is, you know, it's good. That's a good amount, good difference, because you don't need to have, so you do need to have at least 51% corn in a bourbon. This is quite high corn, but it's also a reasonably good percentage. So let's see what we get, and then we'll compare it to its single cask brother, shall we say. Now for me, on the nose, it's kind of sugary sweet. There's lots of sugariness notes to it, sweet. And at the very back, there's kind of just a hint of menthol, bit of mintiness. It's kind of a standard bourbon flavour. It smells nothing too surprising. Let's go into a palate and see what we get. Now, where it does differ, for me, I get quite a lot of rich cherries almost immediately. Very sweet cherries. That kind of creamy corniness that you get from a lot of premium bourbons is in there as well. Just a touch of spice. All round real nice. The finish itself, once the kind of spiciness disappears, you get this really nice vanilla-y flavour. Then it's kind of medium long, and then after the end of it, it's just a kind of oaky tanniny flavours. Possibly a little sour, but by no means a bad thing. Overall, it's pretty good. I mean, it comes in at like 50 to 55 pounds in the UK, which is a lot of money, but it's craft, you know, so they're only making small amounts, and it's coming all the way over from Chicago. Probably worth it, probably worth it. The next one on, as I said before, this is the British Bourbon Society's version. They handpicked this, a group of them from the society, and it's a single barrel, single cask. The ABV is super high. We're talking like 64.38%, something like that. I mean, it's a monster. So let's have a smell and see where we go. Now for me, it's not quite as sweet as the first. But you can pretty much tell it's the same. It's got a slight difference, slightly sour, let's say. Slightly sour, at least, it's not sour. All right, let's go palate. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of alcohol in there. Interestingly, one of the very first flavour notes I get, it's kind of like a juniper. It's not like gin, but a little bit like that, you know, a little sour. It's not as floral as gin, obviously, but yeah, I get that. Just somewhere on the side and the back of the tongue. But then, after that, once you get over that kind of initial shock of the ABV, there's lots of caramels to be had in there. Maybe even a touch of chocolate, like a bitter kind of chocolate, not like a sweet milk chocolate. But, you know, the finish itself, I'd say it's still medium, but it's a little higher in spice. I don't know the mash bill for this. I imagine it's got more rye in it, but I don't know. There could be two different beasts. But then right at the end, you're getting that same kind of oakiness, soury, tanniny flavour at the end. It's really quite pleasant. It keeps going to drag you back into more, if that makes any sense whatsoever. It's definitely not an unpleasant flavour, even though I'm using the word sour. But that's it. That's the comparison. Very, very good. I know this was a very limited release, and it sold on the BBS for something like £75 a bottle. You can get it in certain shops, like Milroy's, I think in London, has it behind the bar, and I'm sure the people, if you get to know them on the BBS, are willing to give samples. That's where I got these things from. They're willing to spread the love, you know. So, you know, do check them out on Facebook. It's one of the best Facebook groups. They have no idea I'm making this video, so I'm not making it to kind of wow any of them or anything like that, but it really is a good place. They're all super friendly, super into their bourbon. Everyone's very generous. They do lots of kind of, not giveaways, they're more like raffles, you know, so you pay a certain, like, the bottle worth, which is really important. They're very good about that. And they're all about the drinking as well, which is something that I go on and on and on about this channel. So I'm super grateful to them for me to try both of these, because I'm not sure I would have. Before I tried them, I would have thought £50 and certainly £75 was an awful lot of money to pay for a single bottle of whiskey. So I don't think I would have gone in for it before I tried them. Now, I would definitely buy both of them, again, without a doubt. And I would also go as far to say that I completely trust the people who are picking these things. So the next time they do a single release, I will probably try and put my name into the hat if I can get away with it. There you go. This is a quick overview of those two. Please do check out my other videos, especially the FEW Rye and other American ones if that's what brought you here. But I do lots of other things, including Scotch and world whiskies. Up around here you'll see a couple of other videos, maybe something that's next up in the playlist, or whatever Google, YouTube thinks you want to watch next. And do click the subscribe button to see more from me every week. I do a new video every Thursday. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you again on another No Nonsense Whisky video.